work from home. Not a new concept, but it has definitely made a big entry in our life through this pandemic, right? So, what do you feel about work from home? Is it good? Is it bad? It is stressful? Does it bring happiness to you? For many of us, it is actually a blessing in disguise because we are able to save time on travel, hence, we are with our family, with our loved ones, and most importantly, it is safe to be at home at this point of time, right? But it has its repercussions also. So, how many of us feel trapped? How many of us feel stressed out? How many of us feel that it is not working out? How many of us feel that it has actually bring some kind of depression in them? Many of us, yes. So today in Friday Mocktails, I am bringing you the topic of working from home. Let us find out the solutions from Unicorn Inside, which is a unique initiative to strengthen our holistic health, and it is the brainchild of Ashwini Chube, who is the founder of the initiative. So, a very warm welcome to Ashwini Chube.
Hi Neelam, and first and foremost, thank you for welcoming me on this topic, and such an important topic which everyone needs to think about, ponder about, and work on in today's era, especially where we are working from home for 5 months, and it has led to a lot of things, including no work-life balance, extended working hours, lifestyle diseases, lack of exercise, lack of social interaction, so much. So, yes, a great topic to talk on, and although I can go on talking on this for hours, in today's topic, I'll try and give you a small summary from my end as a lifestyle coach, as a personal growth and life skills coach, so that we understand what can we do to make situation a little better.
So, Yash, tell us, how should we start our day when we are working from home? Because this is a reality we have to face, that we don't know when will our office start, and it has already been 3 to 5 months for many of us, and it's not working out now. So, tell us from the beginning, how should I start my day when I'm working from home?
So yes, nowadays working from home, people say they get up from their bed, open their laptop and start working. No, that's not what we are aiming at, because that is exactly what is causing all these tensions. So we are going to give you a small routine from the point you get up to the point you start your work on the laptop. If you wish, you may pause this video and take notes if you wish to, or of course you may watch this as many times as you want. So let us begin with what we call as a morning routine. So when you get up from the bed, sitting on the bed itself, count 60 deep breaths. That's point number 1, 60 deep breaths. Secondly, start with any yogic breathing activity. Of course, this applies to if you are in the best of your health. If you have any health issues, consult your doctor, your physician before you begin any yoga activities. I would suggest, or this is what I do, is a round of bellows breathing, also called as Bastrika, a round of Kapalbhati, which is active exhalations, and alternative nostril breathing, which is also called as Anulom Vilom or Nadi Shodhana. These are the 3 top pranayams which are amazing. If you have learned yoga, you can always repeat it. If you haven't, maybe consult a yoga teacher, or maybe it's time for you to take a class. But do these activities every single day when you get up. The next thing is, of course, you are now you have pumped your body with that breath, because breath is life. Now you can do a guided meditation for at least 10 minutes. There are some wonderful apps available. Make the best use of it. Some of the apps which I recommend are Insight Timer. There is also an app called as Calm. Then there is Headspace. I haven't used Headspace and Calm, but I use a lot of Insight Timer. And well, if you don't find anything therein which suits you, you can also log on to our YouTube channel, where we have given some morning guided meditations as well. So have a look at it, subscribe to it. Next is when now you will get off from the bed, but yes, before that you're going to maintain a small diary which you're going to keep with you, and you're going to write about what do you look forward to in that day. That's really going to be great because that is both work and non-work related. It peps up you for the day. Next, you may want to just freshen up or brush your teeth and all of that. And after that, I would say do at least 5 to 10 squats, 5 to 10 lunges, and maybe 10 jumping jacks. That's it, because that will warm your body up. And after that, have at least 3 to 4 glasses of water, because you are sleeping the whole night, your brain is deprived of water. You might feel that you are tired, but you are actually thirsty. So just have those glasses of water and begin your day. This is what I typically call as a morning routine, which works every time. Also, it's equally important to dress up just like you're going for work. This applies to whether you are in a client facing role, whether you are not in a client facing role, because that will make you prepare for work, and that will also give you a very good way to start your day. So shampoo your hair, wash your face, take a shower before you begin, apply a good perfume, dress up with your best clothes. If you are a woman, apply some makeup. All of this is going to make you feel better, and it's going to make you more serious for work. This is not about whether you are presentable to someone else or not. It's all about how you feel about yourself. Yet another important part of beginning your day is looking at the to-do list which you have prepared the previous night and comparing it with your emails, looking at what is to be done now, what can be done later, and what is completely junk, which means you don't even need to look at it. And maybe look at it and check it with your to-do list, because you might have some thoughts in your mind and something might come up in the email. So plan that just as you would do if you are sitting in an office.
Great. Now I'm ready to start my work. So should I just grab my laptop and sit anywhere and start my work? Because there are no clear demarcation in our home for workstation. So tell us, Ash, where should our workstation be ideally placed? And what are the key things that we should have on our workstation? And most importantly, tell us what's the most systematic way to start the work.
Alright, so Neelam, as you said, it's very important to know where and how your desk should be. And it's one of the key most important things, because many people sit on their bed. No. I would also suggest people to make their bed once they get up, because that will make you less lazy. And please do not sit on the bed. You can even buy a new table and chair if you don't have that in your house, because it's important for your spine. Your spine is very important. So for keeping your desk in an ideal position, I have come across a theory which says the 3 P's of desks. Okay, so the first P is power position according to Feng Shui. Okay, Feng Shui is the Eastern science of energy. So Feng Shui says that sit in such a position where you can see the door, because when you can see the door, you see opportunities coming in, you see abundance coming in, and that itself energetically allows the chi or energy to come in, the chi of abundance to come in the room, thus helping you expand your work. So don't sit with your back facing the door, sit with your face facing the door, because that will make you sit in the power position. If you see doctors, if you see their clinics, they always sit facing the door. They never sit with their back to the door. So that's an important P, which is the power position. The second P is posture. Be mindful of your posture. See how you are sitting. Your spine should be erect, no matter what. Don't slouch, because you must be 30, 35 now, but when you reach 50, it's going to cause a lot of back troubles, and it might not even let you recover from that, because your spine is one of the most important organs of your body. The third P is placement. How do you place your desk? Now, you are sitting in a power position, you are sitting with a back support. The chair should have a back support. Now make sure that your desk is well organized. Make sure you have your stationery nearby, your post-it notes nearby. I keep everything with me. I always keep my post-it notes with me, my pen and paper with me. I always have things next to me, because that makes you ready for work. And if possible, put plants near your desk. if possible, sit in natural light. So make your position near a window which has natural light and natural fresh air, because now you are not stepping out of the house, you really need it.
Breaks. Integral part of our office life, and we all enjoy breaks, right? So while working from home, should we take breaks? So what should be the interval of the break? And how should we best utilize the break? Ash is going to tell us.
Yes, absolutely, Neelam. Breaks form a very important part of your work day, because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy and Jill a dull girl, you know. So it's like it's very necessary that you take a break. And I call the system of breaks also, you have three friends. Always remember, you have three friends whenever you take a break. Your first friend is water, which means sipping water every time you take a break. Maybe add reminders to your calendar or something. Keep a water bottle on your desk, very important. And every time you take a break, sip water. So your first friend is water. Your second friend is breath, which means every time you break, have deep breaths, because deep breaths fill your body up with energy. It will cause less of panic attacks, less of exhaustion, and it will also give you a reduction in your stress rate. And finally, the third and my favorite break, which would be every time you get up, maybe you get up to use the washroom, or you get up for to grab some food, do maybe 5 squats or 5 lunges, or maybe 2 to 3 jumping jacks. You know, these are simple exercises, but they will keep your body moving, because you're sitting for the entire day. You might have your body might become very stubborn, and hence it is necessary that every time you take a break, take a walk, jump a bit, do some squats, do some lunges. So don't forget your three friends: exercise, breathing and water. And these three are very important as you take a break. Plan your breaks in such a way that you spend some time, at least 10 minutes break, you know, in between two tasks will really help you feel much better.
Talking about breaks brings me to lunch break, which is my favorite break. So tell me, Ash, what kind of food should I have so that I feel energetic throughout the day?
Yes, Neelam, lunch break is my favorite too, and I think that's 1 hour of the day which I really look forward to, because no matter what's happening, when you have a plate full of good food, it really makes you feel energetic. There are three sources of energy. One is the food, the second is breath, and the third is your thoughts. So we talk about our thoughts a lot in our other audios and videos, but today when we are going to talk about working from home, I'm going to talk a bit about what is nutritious food. So include whole foods in your meal. Make sure you have a lot of fresh vegetables, a lot of fresh fruits, maybe a few nuts like almonds or dried raisins, because all of this will again give you a lot of energy. Make sure if you like to have soups, it's great. If you are a meat eater, make sure you have some protein like chicken or egg in your food. But also make sure at the same time you have a lot of greens in your food. And a very important thing which my coach has told me, which I am trying to work on, is chew your food 32 times, because we have a habit of gulping our lunch down because we are so much hassled with our work and we have so much to do. So my nutrition coach used to always tell me, Ashwini, chew your food for at least 32 times, because then it gets digested and that gives you energy and that causes less of digestion problems. It's a great idea to include soups in your morning, because now you are at home, you can just heat and boil the vegetables and eat it. Now use the working from home to your advantage. Boil vegetables, either you can bake vegetables or you can make anything which is good for your health, which feels light on the stomach, at the same time gives you a lot of nutrition, because a lot of times what we eat fills our stomach up but doesn't give us nutrition. So consult a nutritionist if you can, maybe on a weekend or after your work hours, but make sure you eat the food which gives you more energy than just fat. And another thing in the lunch break which is extremely important is don't have lunch while you're on a call or while you're watching something on, maybe if you want to take a break and you're watching something on your laptop, something fun, don't do that. Focus on the food, focus on what you're eating, chew the food, relish the flavor. If you have a call which is exactly at lunchtime, maybe make your lunch a bit before that or a bit after that, but make sure you eat well. It's very important, guys. Don't underestimate the importance of having a good lunch where you are completely mindful about all that you are eating.
Great. Now half of the day has gone. Some of the tasks are completed, some are work in progress, and few of them are yet to be done. So tell me, Ash, what should be my strategy for next half of the day so that I am able to finish my work on time and also complete maximum number of tasks? Thank you.
Yes, right. The first half of the day is gone now, and usually the lunch and the post lunch times are the difficult ones, isn't it? Especially when you feel very sluggish, you feel a bit lazy, and you are at home and you want to just, take a nap or something, and you have so much work on, and you say, "Oh, I would rather sit on my bed and work." No, totally avoid that, because that is again going to cause you a lot of problems. So go back to your desk and if possible look at your to-do list. Is there something which you missed from the morning which you are supposed to do, or if you have an urgent deliverable towards end of the day, look at it. Many times I also tell people that when you are not having a video call, you probably are having an audio call, you could walk around in the room, and that would apply if you are even having a call post lunch where you're not supposed to be seen on the video. You could just walk around and walk and you talk, as they say, because that will make sure you don't feel lazy and you don't feel like sleeping. Try and put your work in such a manner that you finish by at least 7 p.m. I would normally say 6 p.m. and I've seen a lot of this kind of culture, especially in the Western countries, where they finish work on time. They try and finish their work by 6:30 unless it's very urgent. And somehow we Indians, we believe that the more we slog, the later we work, it's going to be better. But now that we are working from home, we need to really make a boundary what it's about your time at work, other than your calls as well, and make sure not at least by 6 but by 7:30 finish your work. Make sure you finish whatever is urgent, and the rest of it you can maybe keep it for the next day, because that will make your eyes rest a bit. 2, it will give your brain a break. 3, you will feel less stressed, and 4, of course, it gives you a balanced work-life balance, because till yesterday you used to finish work when you were at work, but now because you're working from home, you're extending till 8, 8:30, 9. Some people are working till 11. No, that's not how it's going to work. You have to plan your work accordingly, that you finish it by 7, 7:30. It's very important. So shut your laptop and maybe, just step out of that work room and make sure you focus on the other areas of your life which are important as well. A lot of companies have also started sending you your chairs and your laptops and your workstations. So make the most and the best use of it. If you have a very basic home internet connection, upgrade it to an internet connection which is at a higher speed so that you can efficiently work from home. These things are quite important in these days. And make sure you create a fixed work schedule and a fixed balance schedule. After work hours is equally important, because that could be the time you invest in, catering things for your home, including utensils or planning for the next day, or cooking, or buying of groceries, or even simple things like, washing machine, cleaning your house, or whatever it is. Make sure you do it in such a manner that you feel sorted and you balance it with that time. It's also equally important to spend some time connecting with your family and maybe just entertaining yourself by watching television, reading book, whatever it is. You deserve that much time. But yes, please make sure, because you are having too much of time on gadgets, with any less time getting exposed to the world outside. So I would say move, exercise, look out of your window, breathe, grab a cup of tea or coffee, chat with your family, and have real conversations, friends.
Now that brings into my mind the question of after work hours. After a long stressful day, my body needs rest and I want to reboot my body and soul. So tell me, Ash, what should be my night routine? And by night routine, I mean 2 or 3 hours before I finally retire to sleep so that I get rejuvenated for the next day.
Yes, absolutely. Just like how your morning routine is important, so is your night routine important. Now, I'm going to give you a few quick tips which I follow in my night routine essentially. Again, when I started my whole nutrition and body and mind wellness movement, I started with all this and it has definitely given me a lot of benefit. So, yes, let us begin with a quick night routine. I always say shower and change into a new fresh set of clothes before you sleep. If some of you are feel like, you can always have a warm glass of milk with some turmeric maybe, because that also adds up to your immunity in today's world. That's something we need. So I typically have this warm turmeric milk, which is also called as the turmeric latte in the western world, but it is old haldi doodh, which I think my grandmother used to make, and it's very good for health. So I think that's one thing. It gives you good sleep and it builds up your immunity. Of course, brush your teeth after that, needless to say. Wear fresh clothes, of course. And a very important task will be to write your to-do list for the next day, because that will prepare you for the day to come. Because after work, usually you'll have a lot of things. I have to do this tomorrow, I have to do that tomorrow. So the next day's to-do list will come up, write it in your diary, which you'll be comparing when you begin your day with. Also write gratitude for 3 best things that happened that day. It could be things relating to your work, or it could be just some support which your spouse has given you. Maybe your spouse cooked food for you, or if they just made your work simpler, they helped you in your daily work. After that, you will now go and sit on the bed. Probably I would say that pray a bit, connect to whatever God deity you believe in, pray for about 5 minutes, meditate for the next 5. Usually I also recommend people to apply oil or moisturizer on their feet, because usually it's a good practice to do that, because it helps you and your body stay more balanced when you sleep. Yes, and most important, keep your gadgets on airplane mode. Keep it in a different room if possible, and go and rest into a nice slumber, and with an intention of getting up fresh and recharged for the next day.
I agree, Ash. To have a better tomorrow, we should definitely invest a day before, or should I say a night before? Yes, it is such a wonderful feeling to have you around, and you answer my question in such a simple way. Your suggestions are so bang on. Really grateful to have you with us. Thank you, Ash. But before we leave, could you please give us few tips for the working ladies, because I feel that they have some kind of additional responsibility while they are working from home, because they take care of the family members, they take care of the household chores as well. So I think they need few more tips.
Yes, Neelam, you're right. I know as women, we have additional responsibilities, because however modern or career oriented we might be, we also have that thought at the back of our mind to take care of the house, the cooking. And yes, many times we have support. We might have parents or in-laws supporting us as we do these things. But apart from that, you also have some kind of duty towards your house, not as a duty, but we are made in that manner. We are made to cook, we are made to think about the house. And although we may be educated, totally career oriented, we like to do those things. It brings a lot of joy. So yes, if you are a working woman who also has a house to look at, there are few things which you could do. plan your day better. Plan what you want to do. I also tell women that, when you take breaks, you could probably do a bit of grocery shopping so that the groceries come by evening. I tell women many times to, you can either chop vegetables or make all the things which you need to make on weekends, because that will put you in a more comfortable position. You can even cook or semi cook your foods on the weekend, so that it will hardly take time to make sure the food is cooked. Try not to clean your house every day. I know it can be a bit difficult task with no household staff around, yet I would say that maybe clean your house twice a week. Daily you could just mop it once, because that itself can be a very good thing. As far as work is concerned, make sure you write your to-dos. Write what you're going to do it and be very specific about it. And a very important point for women, because majority of the audience who have really written to me about this was women. So I would say that be a little more assertive. Dare to say a no if you are being overloaded, if your body is tired, if your mind can't focus, if you have a child who needs your attention and it's 7 p.m., say no to that work mail. That work can wait. And I am sure a lot of us are going through it, so even the seniors are understanding it. So, but you have to be assertive. You shouldn't be a yes person saying yes to everything to be the stereotypically good employee. You should be also assertive and saying a no. I don't mean being assertive means being rude. You can, in a very kind and very good manner, say a no if work comes to your desk at 8 p.m. and every work can wait till the next day. Nothing is more important than your life, your health, and your well-being, and of course your mental health. So I hope this helps all women who are watching us.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to have you on every Friday mocktail. Thank you so much once again. So friends, hope you find this video useful and the tips shared by Ashwini help you to come out of the stress that is being caused by work from home. In case you feel that you have any more queries, you want to reach out to us, please do so. Please reach out to me or Unicorn Insight or Ashwini Chube anytime. Until the time we meet again in next Friday mocktail topic, thank you so much for your support, and do write in for your suggestions, and most important, take care of yourself. Thank you.